It's a little disturbing. You're talking about a bunch of cells dividing and producing what would be effectively a puddle of goo, but instead of doing that, they are changing into shapes. The combined masses of cells in different places are doing different things as they proliferate, and you're not even using animation or special effects, and you're looking at an embryo. This is impenetrable to anything but much later technology. Now we talk about a morphogenetic field. Before, we could observe morphogenesis, which are these undifferentiated tissues taking on shapes, and differentiation, which within each of the shapes across the body, you're talking about different cell types now forming and the organs becoming functional. Those could be observed through ordinary microscopic work, but only later, with much more advanced molecular technique, can we actually start talking about a morphogenetic field. Now, this is an important concept because what I really need is some sort of holographic, three-dimensional visual device. We're talking about chemistry, specific chemicals, which in a developing organism have been produced at a certain spot and are diffusing in 3 dimensions. So the concentrations of them change through the tissues as they pass through. Now, this is happening in different places in the embryo with several different of these chemicals, which are called morphogens. And so that's why we say a morphogenetic field. We're talking about the effects of these particular substances in the tissues as they are growing. That's what these morphogens do, is affect the way that they grow. Some of them are going to induce tissue death, actually creating gaps in the organism. Others are going to have impacts on the fusions and the segmentations of the embryo. Now, all of this is occurring in a time when the embryo really isn't a functioning organism at all. These organs aren't really working yet. Some of them are coming online, if you will, through differentiation at different rates. But now we're talking about the shaping of the body. And instead of directional magic, which in the ordinary microscope is pretty much what it looks like, instead now we're talking about what can only be called traits. In fact, in many cases, more traits than the developed object. The hand is not really something that a gene makes. The hand is the product of these morphogens that operated during my embryological development. This, and this being the products of programmed cell death in those spots. The growth and the elaboration of the tissue that's left is a different trait too. So these phenomena, to regard developmental events and substances as themselves traits, is the essence of Evo-Devo thinking.